Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I disappeared for a hot minute and I have to tell you there was just so much going on. We are coming out with 2 new business models, and so my head had to be hunkered down in that. But welcome back. I am so glad that you are here and that we now have all the time in the world to chat about my favorite topics, which is about building a brand online, so entrepreneurship as well as lifestyle. So from now on, I'm going to be more regular, I promise, and blog and vlog every Monday and Sunday, so you can expect to see more of me and this face at least twice a week. So today I wanted to talk to you about a topic that I discussed on my blog. So head over to my blog, forward40.com/blog, and it really is about the 10 things that you need to know in order to grow a successful business online. So the reason why I picked this topic is because so many people, as we emerge from quarantine and lockdown, and I know I have people joining me from all over the world, as we emerge, I know a lot of you are thinking about retooling your existing business or even starting a new one. And so what I have in an article or post on my blog is 10 things that you need to consider when you're starting or retooling a business. And I simply wanted to just share 3 things from that article with you that I think will add some real good value if you are retooling or starting a business, particularly if you are growing it online. So number one, okay, so for me, an accountability partner is super important. It's really critical. And there's a slight difference between a mentor and an accountability partner. I feel that from my experience, a mentor is someone who gives you advice from time to time when you need it and shows you a way forward. And I love that there's a place for a mentor in an entrepreneur's life. But as I am growing a business, I find that having an accountability partner is like having a parent, but just it's like having a parent for an adult who is going through entrepreneurial school. Does that make any sense? I hope it does, because an accountability partner does not just give advice. An accountability partner is like digging in the trenches with you, like right there, perhaps even growing his or her own business, and they can have a little bit more experience in areas that you are not so sure about, but they should share the same work ethic, the same enthusiasm for growing a business. Sometimes you could be doing the exact same thing. So let's say you're working on a marketing plan for your new business idea or retooling your business and taking it online. So you need a plan for that. And your accountability partner is doing the same thing, but in her business. So what happens is that you're sharing ideas and you're bringing things to the table and you're working through things together, and you're calling each other like at 9 o'clock at night when the children are asleep, or when you've completed work, or you've cooked dinner or whatever, and you're working through the issues step by step, and both of you and your accountability partner are achieving success based on like the goals that you've set out for yourself. So I hope that's clear, because I have found that a lot of times, I don't know about you, but there's so many times when you're building something and that road is full of littered promises. Oh, I'll show up for you for this. But they don't. That person doesn't, because that person is too busy with their own work, their own schedule. Oh, I'll do this for you. Oh, I'll call you at this time. And they don't, right? But I feel that when somebody is on the same or similar journey with you, and they have more specifically like the same work ethic, and they're hustlers and they're on the grind and they're gold diggers, then I find as if the win-win is so much better, because they are sharing exactly what you are going through. So I hope that makes sense. Oh, let me give you an example. So I am in this accountability group for for people that I exercise with. Some of them are way fitter than I am. I don't pretend to be fit at all, but I love to be inspired by them. And so we're sharing workouts, we're sharing what we're doing, our meal plans, checking in with our goals. Not everybody's on a weight loss goal for sure. And so last week I kind of fell off the bandwagon because it was just such a hectic time in studio for us. And I didn't post any workouts. And this morning I got a flood of things from inspiration, from like pep talks, people posting me, tagging me, and telling me, let's get up and go. And I felt so great and so motivated that I actually scheduled in my planner, as well as I took out all my exercise clothes already, because I know that I must commit, because I have to be accountable to these people, right? So it's similar in your business. We all have a similar goal, and all of us are working towards that goal. And we may be working at different points, but we're motivating and inspiring each other. So number one, accountability partner. Number two, so passion or money? Passion or money? Like, I get asked this question all the time. Should I follow, when I'm thinking of starting a business, should I follow passion or should I go after the money? And I don't think that the two are mutually exclusive, but I know that, you know, having started a business so long ago, so even though I'm a digital entrepreneur, for those of you who don't know, for the last 6 months, I started my first business in the late 90s. I started when I was 28, 29 years old, a public relations firm, which I grew into a really successful business before I decided to move into the digital space. And so it was really important that when I first started out, that I was following my passion. And even now, when I think 5 years backward, when I reflect on the last 5 years and I think about Forward 40, I remember Forward 40 was like the side hustle. It was like the side chick. I would do things and then stop. And then as I did Forward 40, I recognized that I love doing it. And so I would pour all my energy and my time. I would work on weekends, produce video content, blogs, and so forth. I wasn't making a cent. I was just building community, and I was putting together, I didn't know it at the time, but was putting together a business model for existing online in a digital space. And if I was following money then, I encountered so many obstacles, so many things that told me, okay, the world is not ready for your idea, so maybe you should stop. And if I wasn't following my passion, if I wasn't like totally and completely in love with what I was doing, then I would have given up like a long time ago on building this brand. For me, passion is important, because there are going to be times as you develop your business. I mean, look at the pandemic, right? Look at what that has brought us. The uncertainty, the loss of contracts, businesses being closed. And if you were only about the money and you weren't about the passion, you would just give up in an instant. So I would say at first, you want to have a business idea where you feel that there can be traction. There is no sense in developing an idea where the market is saying, resisting, it's not ready. I mean, that's innovation, and I totally believe in innovation. But if you're concerned about the now, I would say find an idea where there is, or develop or retool your business in a way that marries your passion with the ability to generate revenue. Because I am a big believer in money. I have seen the impact that it has had in my own life, in my own business, being able to serve more people with more intent and more purpose. And I could not do that if I only was about passion. So if you can find a happy marriage with both, but I think in the beginning, and this is for those of you who are now starting your businesses, in the beginning, passion is what is going to what is going to see you through, and it's what is going to attract money to you once there is market demand for whatever it is that you're putting out into the world. And so my third point, did I say I was going to give 3 or 5? I think I said 3, right? So as we were talking about market considerations, now I always get feedback that a lot of people do business plans. And while I'm not a big believer in these massive documents that just sit on a chair or in a closet or a cupboard or in your office space and you do absolutely nothing from it, I prefer like a 1-pager or a 2-pager business plan, especially if you're a small business. I have to say that you can think that your idea is terrific. It is the best thing since sliced bread. It's shinier than gold. It is like widely personal to you and you're so in love with it. But I have to tell you, if the market is saying no, if nobody has an interest in your product or your service, if no one is buying what you put out, then I'm never going to tell you to give up. What I'm going to say is you have to go back and think again and rework what it is you're doing. Maybe your idea needs a bit of retooling. Maybe it needs to be reworked. Maybe you need to do some market research so that the market tells you or informs you. And it's so easy to do market research now that we live in this kind of online space. It's super easy. So I would say to do that before putting more money, more energy. I would want you to stop and breathe and take a little time and a little space in order to understand, do you have the right idea? It's so important. Okay, so I'm going on to a 4th point, just because I want to talk to you. And I always think about, the customer and what that customer wants. And I also think about when you're starting out, how strapped you are with your resources. And so many have said that you can't start a business without money, right? Can you start a business without money? I think there are ways that you can work around so that money, while it's non-existent, is an issue. It doesn't define what you can or cannot do. Maybe it defines how much you can do. But I certainly think that you can make strides without money. And you know why I know that? I did it. Come on in. Let me say that again. I did it. And I think that in an age where there are platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, where you can find a talent base from across the world at a reasonable price, that when you are struggling and you don't know how to figure things out, and let's say you don't have an accountability partner, which is completely different anyway, then there is so much that you can use or outsource. So never forget that when you are strapped for how to do something, then don't worry, to do what you do best. Outsource the rest. Did that rhyme? Do what you do best and then outsource the rest. There is no shame in that game. There's no shame in acknowledging that you can't do it all. There is no shame in thinking that you need an expert that's going to supplement what you already know and have and you are able to do. So go ahead, find platforms. There are platforms for designers. There are platforms for writers. There are platforms for art directors, voice talent, people who can just design and take over your blog. Go find them and use them appropriately. And you will find yourself as an entrepreneur having an amazing team that's not by your side, but by your side. Get it? They're not physically in your office space. They may exist all over the world, but they are working in your interest to make sure that you succeed, because when you succeed, they succeed as well. Okay, so that's my 4th point. And my 5th point is that courage to me is the most important ingredient you can have when you're just starting out. And courage builds your ability to take risks. Courage is what will make you, in the face of challenges, feel that you're able to circumvent and overcome them. Courage is what will allow you to dig deep and think of fear as that person or that thing you're going to put in the back seat while you are in control of the car at the wheel. You might listen to fear. I think fear has an important place, because if we didn't listen to fear, we would jump off a cliff. If we didn't listen to fear for a little bit, we will walk in front of a car. So it has its place in warning us of the danger signals. But I think if you constantly listen to fear and you fail to dig deep and find the courage that will see you through certain things, then you're already beginning with a sense of failure in mind. And when you're an entrepreneur, the last thing you need is that negative voice in your head, that narrative that you tell yourself, that imposter syndrome that overcomes you, that tells you you're not good enough or you're going to fail. And that only comes when you listen to your voice that says, I am courageous, I am worth it, my idea is valid, I will succeed, money will come, I will build the best tribe. And then you can say, I can do this and I will. Not because fear is next to you in the passenger side, but because fear, you put it in the back seat and you're driving the car to your destination based on the desire to grow a successful business. Now is the time. There is no time like now. There is no time like the present to recognize that there's so many things that can go against us. There's so many things that can happen that we had no anticipation of. COVID taught us that. And so COVID also taught us that if there is a dream that we have inside our head and our heart, then it's time to take action and put those dreams on speed, as you determine speed to be, and fulfill your desire to live the life of your dreams, building a business that brings profit, that serves people, and that allows you to do with your life what you want to do with it. Okay, so let me know in the comment box below. As I said, I have 10 tips. I only shared a couple, but there's so much value on the post. So don't forget, don't forget to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. And of course, the notification bell. Please turn that on. So I promise I'm going to be more regular